What you are watching is a PGA video advertising how businesses can bring clients and employees to PGA events to both entertain them and to make deals. After all, who doesn't want to go to the Masters? And the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm going to discuss the PGA-LIV merger. When the Saudis launched the LIV tournament, no one was surprised when they tried to pull in the biggest names. Some media sources project their offer to Tiger Woods as upwards of $1 billion. And no one was surprised at the pushback that came from the mainstream media and the American political left. They do not like Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and this has made the American relations with Saudi Arabia thorny, and it has complicated issues greatly. But this month, the PGA did a complete about face, and they actually merged with LIV in the biggest sports merger probably ever. Now, yes, what you're watching is one reason. There's a lot of money in golf. There's a lot of money in selling VIP tickets to these events so people can sit there and say, I've been to the Masters. But there's more to this than just this revenue. And that's why I want to discuss. The current administration, of course, is the administration of President Joe Biden, who is vice president to President Barack Obama. And the Iranian nuclear deal was a hallmark achievement of the Biden administration, and of course everyone believes that President Biden agrees with his predecessor's course. And 2 years ago, I believe most people would have thought the Biden administration would have pursued a similar course of détente toward Iran. But all that changed. Now, of course, the Iranian crackdown on protesters in the past few years did not help. But the Iranians basically took any goodwill they had with the Americans and wadded it up and threw it away when they began supplying arms to Russia. 2 years ago, the people against Iran were conservative Republicans. Today, it's the mainstream of the Democratic Party. And when Iran did that, the Saudis suddenly became not the worst guys in the room. Saudi Arabia is a major bulwark against Iran. And that's one reason this deal became more palatable. The second reason is the Inflation Reduction Act. The Inflation Reduction Act leans heavily on green energy, which, as much as it's not ready yet. It's getting there, but it's still in a decade. It will probably be where they need it to be, but right now it isn't. So while we get our green economy up and running, we will be relying on Saudi gas and oil. Now, this brings up another issue, and that's the fight against inflation. The Federal Reserve is pushing back against inflation, and the Saudis have a direct influence on how inflation goes because of their oil production. And just recently, they cut oil production. And yes, this has a lot to do with LIV Golf, because LIV Golf is owned by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, which is where they put all their oil revenues. It's headed by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. So gas prices are a big deal. And all this leads up to the 2024 elections, which have already begun. This is all about politics. That's not a bad thing. It happens. That's the way the world works. The Saudis understand this as well as anyone. So, as the election approaches, as you look at what to do with your money and how to safeguard it, how to increase it, how to survive during these times, events like this are very important to take into account.
The dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? On the shore dimly seen through the mist of the deep, where the foes of your host in dread silence reposes, what is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half concealed, half discloses? Now it can